What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. Jalen Green's explosion has finally happened. He's kind of broken out in the month of March, and it's elevating this Rockets team to potentially making the play-in. And I'm so impressed with how good he's been in March, because this is what we've been waiting for, right? This level of consistency and these kinds of numbers. This is what we've been waiting for. We're going to talk about Jalen Green's month of March and how it's changed the Rockets season from dead in the water to having a fighter's chance, and how he's the biggest reason why. And we've seen Jalen Green put up games with 30-plus points before in his career, right? We've seen him do that, but we haven't seen him be able to put together a stretch that has been this consistent and that has led to winning, right? Anybody can put up, well, not anybody, but most players can put up 30 and lose by 20. They've been winning games in large part due to Jalen Green's performances, and they're winning games without a lot of key players to the rotation, like Alperen Şengün, like Tari Eason, like Cam Whitmore. They've won a lot of games in the month of March, literally on his back. So in the comments, let me know how impressed you are with Jalen Green's month of March, overall his season, but I'm particularly focusing on this 11-game sample size because of what it's done to their season, because at the end of February, they were on like a 3 or 4 game losing streak, like 5.5 games back of the play-in. It looks kind of dim, and he's just popped off. So let's get into it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you like this content, please like the video. But overall, month of March, right? 28 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. That's cool, right? Anybody can put up good numbers, but what's your efficiency look like? 52% from the field, 42% from 3, and 80 from the line. This is an 11-game sample size where they've won 10 of 11 and are on an 8-game winning streak right now. And the one loss they had, I believe, was to the Clippers in a hard-fought battle. So ultimately, you're playing your best basketball at the absolute most important time. That's the biggest thing that I'm taking away from Jalen Green's just overall emergence in this. Because if you would have told anybody that they're going to lose Cam Whitmore, they're going to lose Tari Eason, they're going to lose Alperen Şengün, who many, including myself, believe is the best player on their team, they're going to lose all 3 of those guys, 3 rotation players, some starters, and then you're going to be on a losing streak, that they're going to turn it around, not many people would have believed him, myself included. But because of Jalen popping off and having a couple 40-point games in his last 3, I feel like his confidence has reached a different level, right? I think he's always been a naturally confident player, but I haven't seen him play like this ever. Like you might catch a heater for a game, but I've never seen him do it this consistently to where you could just look at the play. I believe it was against the Jazz with Jared Butler. It might have been the Wizards, I forget. Where he, is coming off of a screen, back behind the back, crosses dude over to the floor, breaks him down all the way to the floor, stares at him as he's dead on the ground, and then fires the 3, and then to ice the cake, turns around before the 3 even goes in. That's like what you dream of as a kid. Crossing somebody to the floor, step back 3 essentially, and then not looking like Steph Curry when it goes in. The amount of confidence that takes is insane, because he's just being a slightly off on that jumper to being a meme. And now he has one of the highlights of the season. That might be the most impressive shot that I've seen this year. And it's not like this was a one-time occurrence, right? He's doing this turnaround, no-look 3 stuff from the corner. He's done it multiple times in the past few games. And I feel like dude knows he's on a heater, because for the longest time he was kind of a chucker, right? I'll call it what I think it was. I think he was a chucker on a bad team for a couple of years. And we never really got to see how good he could be. Beginning of this year, you have a whole new turnover, whole new roster makeup, different coaching, and it's kind of like, it doesn't really look all that great. And then some people start to miss some games, the load starts to fall on you, and it's put up or shut up, and dude's putting up 28, 6, and almost 4 on great efficiency. That is in winter's time. It's not like this is happening when they're 13 games out of the playoffs and you got a bunch of 2A guys playing and you're just the only guy that can chuck. He's out there in games that mean something for them, and has played well against teams like the Cavs, who have a really good defense. And some of these games are against teams that are poor, like the Wizards. The Jazz have players that just have been banged up, and their season's kind of just mucky. But ultimately, you can only play what's in front of you. And This is the important part, because the Rockets have a legit fighting chance at the play-in now, and Draymond Green on the Warriors said recently, I think it was yesterday, that they're not worried about the Rockets. And I'm just saying, if I'm a team that is only a game up on a team that's on an 8-game win streak and winners of 10 and 11, I think I'm a little worried about them when my team's not playing very good. I would think you'd be a little worried. But I guess not everybody is, apparently, according to Draymond Green. But that one, they got a game against the Warriors, the Rockets do, in like 2 weeks. And that is going to be the game that could mean so much. But before that, the schedule is a little rough. You're going to have OKC, you're going to play Dallas, you're going to play the T-Wolves. So you've got 3 premier teams in the West that you got to go out there and you got to beat them. You have to win a couple of these games. Otherwise, you could fall a game and a half back or 2 games back, and it could get a little harder. But so overall, you're going to have OKC, Dallas, the Timberwolves. Then you're going to play the Dubs. Then you're going to get the Heat. Then you're going to get the Mavs again. And then you're going to play a Magic team that will bite kneecaps and will make your life hell. So they have the Rockets. This is off of Jalen Green currently. But the Rockets have a really tough schedule to finish the year. So if Jalen Green can keep up this kind of efficiency, maybe the 3-point percentage ticks down a little bit because he's on a heater. But it can still give you 26, 27 in games like that like your season is absolutely on the line every single night now. That could mean a lot for his career going forward. And this is what I'm most interested to see. Because for the month of March, I would give it a 9 out of 10. Right? And mostly I wouldn't give it a 10 just because some of the competition's been a little weak. I think they also beat he played well against the Kings too, like when Şengün got hurt. It's a tangent, but ultimately these next couple of weeks we're gonna find out a lot about Jalen Green and about this Rockets team in general. Ultimately, I think this season is a win for the Rockets, even if they don't make the play-in, because you had a fighter's chance in the end of March when 3 of your 9 rotation players were injured. And like that's a lot of that has to do with Jalen Green's performances, because he's straight carrying them and he's leading the show. And I think he's just settled into, I'm just going to score the damn ball as much as I can and I'll make the right reads from here. But ultimately my job out here is to get buckets and to play defense, because under Ime Udoka you have to. And that was something in the beginning of the season. Defense didn't look like he was all that interested in it. And now I would say in the past maybe 6 weeks of the season, I would say the All-Star break really, you've seen his defense kind of pick up like okay, it's go time. And that's something that I want to see continue. But ultimately when you think about his defense, like he's fast, he's got good agility, he's super hyper athletic. Like ultimately he could be a really good defender in the league if he like bought into being that way night in, night out, which not a lot of stars do. But ultimately he could be at least a solid defender. His problem is that he just has a skinny frame. So bigger dudes will kind of bully a little bit. But if he starts playing with some attitude, and like he has been, and he keeps that, then keep carrying that into your defense, and you're going to see a two-way player kind of grow before us. Obviously the defense will kind of go at a slower pace than the offense, but naturally he's having one of the best stretches we've seen out of a young player at the most important time. And like I said, he's been awesome. 3 weeks ago, the Rocket season looked dead in the water, and now they have a puncher's chance to make the play-in. They have a very good chance to make the play-in, just depending how they handle this tough schedule that's coming up. But Jalen Green has shown us something that he hasn't shown before, and it's that level of consistency. So I truly hope that this breakout is for real, and that this is who he is. Now, I know I don't need to see 28 every night on hyper efficiency, but if you can stay 23, 24, 25 on good efficiency and play within the offense, that's something that the Rockets can build off of, and you can be a franchise cornerstone if he keeps something like that up. Ultimately, let me know in the comments on a scale of 1 to 10 how impressed you've been with Jalen Green in the month of March, or the whole season. You can wrap it all into one if you want. I'm looking at this most important section because it was put up or shut up time for the Rockets, and dude found out he was going to be a dad, and all of a sudden just got dad strength and dad skill, and he's just out here killing people. And that is something that I did not see coming, but what do you know? If you're new to the channel, please subscribe if you enjoy this kind of content. Please like the video, but shout out to Jalen Green because my man has made a little bit of a breakout and I just hope it continues. I want to see more of it because I need to see more of these crossovers, pulling threes, no looking right after. That stuff is must-see TV, and that's what you want to see out of a young player, is just to have those moments, those highlights, and play well for long portions of games and long portions of stretches in the season. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games. You want to see this. This is what we hoped when he got picked second overall a few years ago. So let's hope this is legit. But thank you for watching. I'm done. Peace.